Evening all, how we doing? We hope we're all good. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a meaty topic this evening, which I'm really looking forward to. Actually, I'll give you my thoughts, but I'm going to throw it over to you a lot this evening, all about Paranormal TV. Hello to everybody joining us. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm not going to do the whole Beardo thing. Hey Beardo, how you doing? So just a quick shout out to some of those people who are in the chat. Obviously, Diane and Tim and Weird Fox, good evening. The lovely mods, John Boy and Catherine and Maiko, good evening. And Alison. As I say, Catherine, I'll probably say some of these names twice. Raven, good evening. Catherine Lawrence and Simon's in there. Sweating his bejesus off. It is so warm in the UK today. So warm. I see Ghost Cats, good evening to you. And, I'm going to keep going down. Good evening, Pomp. Good evening, Dealey Boy. Who else have I got? I'm just going to cast Scarlet. Good evening. The lovely Corinne from the official Jamaica Inn Paranormal team. Hey, Corinne, how you doing? I hope you're all geared up for this one. Who else we got? Anyway, we've got about 60 odd people coming in. Mike, good evening to you. Mike Rochers. I'm probably going to say that wrong, but hey ho. Who else have I got? Oh, anyway, all of you guys in the chat, good evening. I hope you're good. I hope you're great. And Giuseppe and Roger, if you give me a question tonight, Roger, I swear I shall try to read them out. No, I'm not going to do the whole Beardo thing. Bloody hell. Got time for that. Right. Question, can you see this, lol? Yes, I can. Thank you, Roger. Cheers. And Chris Yule, good evening. Hey, guys. How we're good? Oh, we're good. Okay, so what I'll do initially is I'll give you my thoughts. I'll try not to. Am I not in sync? Bloody hell! There's a surprise. No, funny enough, not got a jumper on, as it's the middle of a bloody heat wave in the UK, and 2 glasses of water this evening. It is so hot, so warm. It's ridiculous. I spent all afternoon doing PE outside. Dear Christ. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so I'll go through a couple of the TV shows and some of the things, and I'll kind of dip in with my thoughts. But the vast majority, I want you to tell me, no holds barred. You say what you like, basically, all about Paranormal TV, because there will be its lovers and its haters, and those people who just think it's all crap and all entertainment and should never be trusted. And there'll be those who got the good things to say about it as well. So I'm going to start off, because I normally do, with my 2. And anybody who saw my podcast last week will know this. My all-time favorite is this one. This is the one that really got me into the paranormal, was Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World. I think with this one, it had this whole sense of it was taken seriously. That's the first thing. There were who was it they were saying? I was talking to Ashley Thorpe about it, and he was saying, well, in those times, it was in the 70s and 80s, you had these almost documentary style reports about the paranormal. It wasn't taking the piss. It wasn't kind of taking it as lighthearted in a jokey way, like a lot of newspapers do. It was pretty straightforward, read by newsreaders, which made it more credible. Then you had Arthur C. Clarke, who obviously is well known as being an author and inventor, and his scientist, and helped get the astronauts to the moon and stuff, and invented the communication satellite. And obviously he was your very, very skeptical mind at the end. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The music, the atmosphere, everything about it was awesome. Right? I genuinely loved it. Justin Lies, his favorite show is Help My House is Haunted. Bugger off. All right. How are you not sweating? I'm just dripping in it. And again, in the UK, we have this with this show called Ghost Hunters. Now, I don't know if many people remember it. Again, I think this is, I was going to guess, probably late 80s, I would say. This is before the likes of Jason Hawes with his Ghost Hunter show. This is the original UK show. Again, documentary style, very serious. Interviewed eyewitnesses and just reported on things, and I loved it. Right. So those 2 shows are the main ones. I think roughly in America in the 1970s, I never saw this show because it's an American show, but anybody's in America may remember this one. In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. Um, Again, very similar style, documentary type style, just reporting on lots of different things, including obviously, as you can see there, any kind of not just limited to ghosts and stuff, but it was about the Loch Ness Monster, but the Bermuda Triangle, all the stuff that we love and we grew up with. And I think following on from that, just whoa. Justin is clearly older than me. I remember neither of these shows. How can you not know? Look up the Arthur C. Clarke one. Genuinely, it's awesome. Anyway, so In Search of Leonard Nimoy in America, and then I think a lot of people in America and the UK would know this one, Unsolved Mysteries. It's kind of cheesy. It is kind of cheesy, but I don't know. I mean, the whole thing about these early TV shows, they just reported. They weren't trying to fake. They just reported. And all right, the dramatizations of some of the 80s stuff was a bit kind of dodgy. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Andrea. But overall, I would say a lot of these TV companies and were projecting it as just something interesting, and they're doing it in the right way. So then we move on. In the UK, definitely Watershed, not really a paranormal TV show, more of a spoof. This happened. Ghost Watch. And after Ghost Watch, which was a complete spoof drama, which people took incredibly seriously because people believed it was real. Even when I watched it in the early 90s, I knew it was horseshit. But some people absolutely... I know, I did forget Strange But True. There is Strange But True in the UK as well. Absolutely, Diane. But a whole load of people, in fact, thousands of people, believe that the Ghost Watch was a genuine show. And because of the fact that the presenters could be trusted, you've got people there like Sarah Green, and you had Michael Parkinson, very trustworthy people. People were hooked and believed it was real, and it wasn't. It was mad. And obviously out of Ghost Watch came this. Most Haunted. Now, where should we go most haunted? Right. I think most people will agree that, and if you're anywhere else other than the UK, you probably have got, and Australia may know about Most Haunted. UK obviously knows about Most Haunted. America, I doubt you know about Most Haunted. Needless to say, when it first came out, I think most people believed it was absolutely genuine. And to not to put too fine a point on it, the paranormal just exploded in the UK because of this TV show. People thought it was real. People were joining, all of a sudden setting up paranormal teams. They're going out investigating. And I would say for at least the first couple of years, the first couple of seasons, people were absolutely hooked into this. And then as the audiences became a little bit more kind of knowledgeable and a little bit aware of the bullshit, it became obviously bullshit. And to the extent it was just ridiculous by the end. Well, not even by the end. After about season 4, it just got more and more silly as things went on. So yeah, so you could say, I mean, in the UK, certainly, I think a lot of people and a lot of teams were hooked into the paranormal because of this show, because of the live shows. And I cannot stress this too much. It was huge, absolutely huge. Now, whilst that was going on in the UK, two things were going on in America. This was going on in America. And I think Ghost Hunters, to give them their due, not just Ghost Hunters, but GHI, TAPS, Ghost Hunters International, which followed it as a bit of a spin-off from it, they were at least doing things, I would say, in the right manner. So they were at least, and I think Beardo said this about Jason Hawes as well, he was one of the first people that actively started to debunk on camera and made people question what it was that they were getting. And for that, I think Ghost Hunters kind of stands apart a little bit. And I think it still does, because they were going about things, yes, entertaining, but they were at least trying things out and being very honest. Actually, I mean, I know there will be people here that say, "Oh, Ghost Hunters got found out and they faked this and they faked that." But overall, I would say that Ghost Hunters and Taps and things like that were the first people on camera on a major TV station that would do walk rounds and look at and use equipment and question whether what they were getting was genuine. And anyway, so there was Ghost Hunters, and obviously we've got to mention that man, Zach Bagans, Ghost Adventures. Less, I would say, obviously, definitely in the entertainment camp, much more than Ghost Hunters was. Everything was just, bigger, if that makes sense. He was bigger, he was bulky, he was dramatic, he was this, he was that. He had his cap and his slick hair and his muscles and his tattoos, and he was going around, and he was the way he spoke and his team, and everything was really dramatic, and it was quite a departure from Ghost Hunters, which we're really not into that. I still get crap for my love of Taps. There you go. I will put your comments on, guys, in a second. I just want to whiz through this because over time, I think you can kind of see how TV shows have developed from being very serious in the early days, documentary style, to now becoming more and more and more about entertainment. Following Ghost Adventures, you had the likes of Paranormal Lockdown. I know there are loads of other TV shows that I'm missing out here. I'm only just putting some of them. So obviously Paranormal Lockdown. And then I don't know if this is the same in America, but certainly I think it was true in the UK. For a while, we became a little bit obsessed, or TV shows did, with putting celebrities in some kind of ghost hunt situation, which had just car crash written all over it from the very beginning. There you got Rylan and his ridiculous teeth, and you got a whole bunch of Z-list celebrities who don't know what they're doing, going into a place. And obviously, I spoke to Mickey York this week on the podcast, and again, he was part of a celebrity TV series. So there seemed to be, in the early 2000s, I would say, this obsession with putting TV celebrities on a ghost hunt show when it was clear they didn't know what they were doing, and it was just a joke. All of it was just a joke. And oh dear God, it was awful, just awful. And to be honest, there was certain TV shows. There was one even with I don't know if it's this one actually, with Kieran O'Keefe and Rylan, and they were at this fort. And I've had this from Kieran spoke to me about it, and he said from the get-go, it was just awful, terrible, terribly planned. The celebrities were just trying to play up to the camera. It was just a joke. And from there on in, for a while, so I think I would say Paranormal just became a joke. That's all it was. And I think the whole celebrity thing tarnished Paranormal TV shows for a while. Then we seem to get out of it a little bit because TV companies ran out of money. But we still haven't seen TV shows like this, like Haunted Homecoming. That's obviously Jack Osbourne and Kate Sherrill. And then Jack Osbourne has done other series linked to the paranormal. I know he does ghost hunting shows as well. Which then led into, your favorite of mine, the likes of Help My House is Haunted. And again, thoroughly in the entertainment only camp, with some very, very dubious things going on in the TV show. And actually, I would say I know there's a group of people that love this show. But anybody with basically who's spent any time in the paranormal, anybody with basically half a brain cell knows what is going on. And what is going on is just people hyping stuff up and pretending there's stuff going on when it isn't. That Jack Osbourne stuff is abysmal. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Some people love him, some people don't like him, some people think he's genuine. I've spoke to Kate Cherrell about Jack, and she said actually Jack Osborne, takes it seriously, and he does absolutely. He tries to take it seriously, but we are definitely back in the entertainment camp with the likes of Help My House is Haunted and the celebrity Help My House is Haunted. Thank God we seem to be now getting better. One of those shows which is particularly good is this one with Shana Leary called Paranormal, which is again BBC produced show in the UK. Extremely good. Goes back to that investigative style, not so much a documentary, but in an investigative style. Takes in different points of view, skeptically minded, and I really, really do enjoy that one. Also, one other one which I really enjoyed was Hellier. Again, with is it Dana Newkirk and what's the other ones? The other one, her husband. Anyway, the Newkirks, Greg Newkirk and Dana Newkirk. I genuinely really liked Hellier. I really liked The Unbinding. Very well produced, independent, which I think is key. Because them being independent, they didn't have TV production companies telling them to go down a particular avenue, and it shows. Really, really well done, really enjoyable. Really do like Hellier, and I really like The Unbinding as well. Whatever you think of the, I don't know, Kenny Bill, I got Hellier sucked monkey butt. I know, Kenny, I know. I knew you'd think that, but I think actually how they filmed it, I quite enjoyed. I've got to say, I did enjoy it. Okay, and then obviously in the UK, boom, we have Uncanny, and I would say between Uncanny and Paranormal in the UK, we're in a good place, and thankfully, these are the TV shows that seem to be getting a lot of attention, which is really good because Uncanny, whether it's the podcast that you might be following or the TV show or reading the books, I think Danny Robbins has done a fantastic job with getting Kenny Biddle, you're dead to me, has done a really, really fantastic job in getting the believer and the skeptical, not pandering, I think the issue with Paranormal TV for years has always been that slight, Paranormal's, it's just a bit of a joke. And it's seen as a joke, and people don't know what they're talking about. They're just making stuff up. And so they're kind of sniggering about it and kind of not, making light of it, not very serious. Whereas this has been done in exactly the right way for the viewers or the listeners to decide for themselves what they think about a particular case and listening to both sides of an argument. Brilliantly done. Genuinely brilliantly done. And this is the way I want Paranormal TV to go, because oh god, we've gone through, I would say since the early 70s and 80s, the early shows in the 70s and 80s which took it seriously. We've had about 20-30 years of just silliness and crap and entertainment. I would love to think now with shows like Uncanny and Paranormal in the UK that we do take things a little bit more seriously now. Anyway, so there's my little kind of, it's not even a rant, but you can kind of see how TV companies have gone over time. So let me get this overlay on, and then you can start telling me what you guys think of Paranormal TV. So in TV in general, I say, what's that? Uncanny is awesome. I'm looking forward to, oh my God, this chat's going so fast. Apologies. Let's go back a minute. Hang on. What did Tim just say? Uncanny is awesome. I'm looking forward to the next live show in Cardiff later this year. Oh, nice. Got some tickets for it. Cool. Bring back Strange But True. Strange But True was for the Michael Aspel, wasn't it? Strange But True. Again, took it. I mean, there was all a bit that kind of campy element, I would say, in the early, late 80s, early 90s, but its heart was in the right place, I would say. They weren't just trying to dupe the public, which a lot of TV shows ended up doing. I'm still haunted. Anyway, you know what I mean. Not interested in any of them. I'll stick to this YouTube group. It's a nice balance of great fun. Thank you. Fair enough, Jan. Yeah. Yeah, lots of crap. What's that? Oh, very good. What's that? Are we heading for a new spiritual awakening, do you think? Oh, I don't know, Hamato. Steady on with that one. I think that might be going a bit too far. But if I think partly, what I do like is the fact that TV companies just don't have the budget anymore. And because they don't have the budget, they're not paying celebrities, which is fantastic. Good. I don't want to see celebrities. I don't want to see Z-list TV celebrities on a ghost hunting show. It's just crap. And what the hell does an actor who's been on a soap know about the ghost paranormal anyway? Anyway, why are the twins not on that list? Twins, thankfully, are not on Paranormal TV. I don't think, Ghost Wiener. Thank God. Not in the wider TV, anyway. It's going down here. The chat's going quite quick, so I'm just trying to... Roger, I would love to get Shana Larry on. I have already, this is a while back, though, asked her, or I sent a message to her to come on, but I got no response whatsoever. So but however, a bit like Danny Robbins, I want to get Danny Robbins on this podcast as well. So at some point, if I keep nagging them, I'm hoping they all relent and go, oh, for God's sake, I'll go on. But I would love to have them on. Stranger Pictures rerunning on Talking Picture TV. Nice. I think there's something nostalgic about the old TV series, I've got to say. Paul Doling, I have to say, what's that? Uncanny is one of, if not the best paranormal TV shows. I agree. I think it's definitely better than anything that's been seen in the last 30 years. Without shadow of a doubt, that one. Mike's Mysteries. I absorbed everything in the beginning, but I've taken a step back. Well, that's fair enough. I think as viewers, I think we were very, very naive, particularly in the UK with Most Haunted. We were very naive. We believed in everything, and in the early days, when digital cameras first came out, we were believing in the orbs. We were believing in everything that was documented on TV. So, yeah, I think we've become much more switched on and much more skeptical of this entertainment stuff. Let's have a look. What's Debug saying? Uncanny is the benchmark for Paranormal TV excellence, in my opinion. I agree. I think it's superb. What's Beardo saying? What was the show with Chris French and the blonde psychic lady? Yeah, I watched that. What was it? Where did I watch that? I watched it. I think it was on Amazon. And for the life of me, I can't remember. I did ask Chris French. I went to the pub with Chris French once a little while back. And I was asking him about that show. And I said, you know what? I found it really weird that the TV company let the psychic in first, do their walkarounds, speak to the family, and then you say your thing, Chris, because that just didn't make sense to me. Why you would let a psychic in first? And he was like, "I had nothing to do with me. I just had to sit in the van and then do all the van stuff, sit in the van for hours on end, and eventually they would wheel me out and do my little bit, which is debunked everything the psychic said." Good evening, Corinne. Being involved at Jamaica Inn, we've had lots of TV paranormal related shows, YouTubers, etc. down here and been involved in their filming. Freddie Flintoff event was entertaining. Oh, I bet Freddie Flintoff was awesome. How about Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction with Jonathan Franks? Kim, I've completely forgot that one. See, that was kind of cheesy as well. Any of these old shows which are kind of 80s and 90s cheese, I'm all over. I've got to say. So look, if you enjoyed Hellier, I did see The Unbinding. I did really enjoy it. I liked how it was filmed. I liked the fact that it was done in a serious way. So yeah, I did enjoy it. And I don't care what Kenny Biddle says. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but I enjoyed it. Let's have a go. Hi, Paul. What's that? Hi, Paul. Hi again. It makes me feel welcome. You are welcome. Of course you are, Paul. Haunted Homes. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, if you want to watch something, it's Haunted Homes. Obviously, didn't have much of a budget. It did, and Chris French was good because Chris French was obviously going in and saying there's nothing here, and they usually involved a psychic saying, "Oh yeah, it's really haunted and there's this happening." Ethically, big question marks. Big question marks. Obviously, because families are involved and they're sending in a psychic. But I mean, it was. I don't think it'd be made today. Let's put it that way. That's right. Haunted Homes, Mia Dolan. Absolutely. Kaz Scarlett. Well done. I've completely forgot it was Mia Dolan. Absolutely spot on, that one. What's Corinne? Oh, Corinne's going to be on a rant this evening. I've also been involved with real documentary filming. My ghostly footsteps was real, but what is paranormal? We have all different views. I've enjoyed it all. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Andreas, a good question. Do you think paranormal content, YouTube para content is tanking compared to 2 years ago? I think overall, YouTube generally is obviously on a bit of a dip after COVID, obviously, because everybody had to go and watch COVID stuff. During COVID, everybody was watching YouTube. So I think overall, people are now going back to things like Netflix and Amazon and not spending as much time watching YouTube. But if things are to be believed, then I would say that the ones who are known to be prolific fakers and the entertainment shows, their subs seem to be dackering off a little bit. And I'm hoping that the decent teams are seeing an acceleration in their subscribers. So I hope so. But people are always, the fakers are always going to fake. Let's put it that way. Bloody hell, I thought you said Danny Moss then. Would I, Paul? Would I? Let's have a look. Did you see they discovered new underground hidden tunnels and rooms, big ones, under the pyramids? I did not see that, says Spookfest. I think I vaguely heard about it, but I don't think I saw that. Let's have a look. Jan W. Talking Pictures is all old nostalgic TV. I rarely watch anything else on TV now. Oh, okay. Where is that? Is that an American thing? Is that a UK thing? I can't even think about. Don't think I've barely heard of Talking Pictures. So what's Weird Fox saying? I am a little bit behind on the chat, so I'm going to try and go through as quick as possible. I'm not going to rant on like Mr. Seg does. We do take the mickey out of Most Haunted, but it did bring awareness of this venture and interest at first. Yeah, exactly. It did. And a lot of teams absolutely were hooked in and started the number of ghost event companies that started, the number of paranormal teams that started because of Most Haunted. You got to give them that, if nothing else. And I don't want to give them anything else. Giuseppe, what's he saying? Does anyone remember Fear on MTV? I will vaguely remember Fear. People would be left in a haunted place for 2 days and had to do dares and determine if it was haunted or not. Load of bollocks, but entertaining. I think we should bring that back. That'd be great. That'd be so good. What's John Boy saying? The first time I ever saw an orb on Most Haunted, I said, "Oh look, dust." Or some of us were fooled, some were not. What's Roger? Roger, we need to keep building the British paranormal profile. Real UK teams getting TV airplay. Make our shows the benchmark. Shows on the Travel Channel. Danny and Beardo to host a weekly debunking show. Why not? Why not? Kenny! You're so difficult to kind of convince, Kenny. Still sucked. Hey, at least you're honest. You're on it. Okay. I'll do my best to support UK Paranormal when I cross over. Thank you, Kamato. Thank you for your service. What's the Spookfest? Ask Dan Aykroyd why he had one of his shows shut down and got talked to by the Men in Black. I would love to. Can you imagine? That would be my ultimate. I've said this from the beginning. That my ultimate is to speak to Dan Aykroyd. Can you imagine if I managed to get him on? Have I? I think I have actually tried to contact him. because I thought if you don't ask, you don't get. Turns out you don't get, because he's not going to want to be bothered with me. Oh, what's this one, James? There was a 1980 show with Jack and Holly Palance called Ripley's Believe It or Not. And I think I vaguely remember seeing some of that, but I think it wasn't really seen much in the UK. Oh God, Kenny. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That puts me in the same territory as bloody Dawson. It's very disappointing. So what I got the most out of paranormal programs is seeing some really interesting and historical locations, and maybe with a good ghost tale. Yeah, I agree. And I think as well, Most Haunted definitely pointed people towards a lot of good historic locations. I still remember some of the early days of Most Haunted, and I still remember certain locations around the country purely because Most Haunted went there. So they're not all bad, kind of. That's my maps. I'm a YouTube zombie now. Watch What I Please. TV for me was 20 years ago. It's amazing, actually. So many people are now just hooked onto YouTube, completely hooked. Oh, did I see? Was it 30 Days Haunted? I thought it was 28 Days Haunted. But yeah, I did see that. And the thing is with, I'm sorry now, I'm going to kind of slate American shows. The thing is with American shows, and it does seem to, I'm not just slating Americans really, but 28 Days Haunted had the makings. The idea was good, and it's the same kind of thing as the idea. But when you start to watch it, it goes back to people overreacting and sound effects and people overreacting to the most minor stuff. And if they were actually investigating, what's with the overreaction and the freaking out every 2 seconds? It did my head in, I've got to say. So I've tried a couple of times to get through all of it, and I can't do it. I've tried to get through 28 Days Haunted. And I think I gave up on my third attempt because I just get annoyed. I just get annoyed. Oh, here we go. What's Kenny saying now? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let's go back. Kenny's saying, I'd argue that, what's he saying? Well done is subjective, but the content they were promoting was just ridiculous and silly. Well, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. I'll let you have that one. That's fine. We need to keep building. Oh, I've already read that, I think. Yes, I have read that. Chris Yule, Spooked Scotland and Spooked Ireland were dodgy too. That's the one with Chris Fleming, wasn't it? I've not seen either of those. I don't. With his Let's Have a Look. I'm sorry, Chris. I realize I say it because there's a delay between me clicking it and I hate silence. So yes, I do say that a lot. I'm going to try and stop myself. Yeah, I did not see any of that show because it was the similar kind of for entertainment purposes, and yeah, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. What's she saying? You can go off, people, you know. I'd rather that. I'm not a hot weather person. Headache and upset tummy. Fair enough. Fair enough. It is very, very warm. You can probably see how warm my face is. I was part of a ghost hunting that went into Eastern State Penitentiary before the kids were sent in. They used a soundbite from me. That's it. Oh, okay. Was it a good soundbite, or was it just you kind of rubbishing the whole place? Probably the latter. Imagine watching a true paranormal show. Load of people just sat about, be like Gogglebox, but in the dark. Hey, you never know. It might be a thing. Might be entertaining for some people. Ghost hunting with a Happy Mondays. Highly recommend it. Where was that, Rachel? When did that show come out? Because that I cannot remember that. But I feel I have to Google that or look it on YouTube. If it's on YouTube, I'm so checking out Ghost Hunting for the Happy Mondays because that just sounds awesome. And if you don't know who the Happy Mondays are, dear God, you've got a treat. Just wow. Yeah. Some guys would be cool to talk to. What's it? Wild and weird West Virginia, always out doing investigations and stuff with Mothman and more. Oh, okay, that sounds cool. Watch Ripley's Believe It or Not. Also had a tour museum in Blackpool. Yeah, they did. I think the whole Ripley's Believe It or Not museums are all over the place, aren't they? But I can't remember seeing the TV show. That's the only thing. Hey, Mike, my wife and I wouldn't have found people like you, Beardo, Kenny, Ghost on Trent, DSC, etc. if the paranormal stuff available on TV wasn't mostly crap. Shits and giggles. It's true, though. I think people have tended to veer away a lot from TV just because a lot of it is nonsense. And and I think that the genuine teams and the genuine people out there who want to and do things for the right purposes, the right reasons, I think they've found their audience. And it's because too many people have just been hoodwinked, really, by crap TV shows. Truth Proof Paranormal Channel got Robbie Williams. Really? Right. Okay. You can get Dan Aykroyd. Oh, Ricky Rocket, drummer from Poison. He's well, he's the paranormal. Oh, awesome. I think the only one I tried to get a hold of this week was Brian Blessed. Every so often, I'll try and get some kind of celebrity person on. It's like, well, why not? If they're into the paranormal, I'll try and get hold of them. But yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, can you imagine? It's not going to happen, is it? Me and Bill Murray. Oh yeah, me and Bill Murray be talking about ghosts together. No, not unless I pay him a lot of money. And even then, Bill Murray's the kind of person that probably wouldn't turn up because he'd want to go golfing instead. I think he's very he's very unpredictable. Is Mr. Murray? Jem Treadwell, for my love for the scary, it started after watching the Most Haunted episode. There, investigation was bad, but love that pub. Yeah, going back to the scary soon. I do like. I mean, I've not had anything happen there, I've got to say, but I do like the Skirrid. It's got a cool atmosphere about the place. Yeah, Mike's Mysteries. Yeah, the Haunted Collector. That's the John Zaffis guy, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's the. I can't make my mind up about that guy. I've got to say. I'm sure Kenny has an opinion on John Zaffis, but he just, I don't know. He's a bit kind of tied into the Warrens for my liking, and yeah, I don't know how much I could trust him. But no, I may be doing the guy a disservice. Some people may love him. I'm 34 minutes in and I'm still in sync. Woohoo! It won't be long before we go out to sync again. Arthur C. Clarke's Word of Strange Powers. Yeah. Arthur C. Clarke started with, I think, The Mysterious World. Then it was Arthur C. Clarke's World of Strange Powers. Both series I absolutely adored. I want to see more shows like that, but TV just does not have the budget anymore. So you're much more likely to see that on YouTube now because TV shows, they just don't want to pay out. Basically, they want a TV production company to produce all the episodes first, and then they'll decide whether they release it or not to a wider public. It's a bit of a backwards way because they just don't have the money to do it. Hang on, is he taking the piss? Yeah, he is. Let's have a look. It's only when I tease you for I realize I did it a lot too. Still better than I do it all the time. I apologize for saying let's take a look at. Or let's take a look. Let's see what. Let's take a look. Rachel, another on Amazon that's fun. It's a Canadian series, Knock Knock Ghost. Oh, what's that, Rachel? You need to explain a bit more about Knock Knock Ghost. I've never heard of that. And if I can see it on Amazon, is it any good? Or if it's fun, it sounds it might be a bit poo. So tell me if it's any good or not. What's that? Kenny uses it as a ghost soundbite. Weird EVP. That's crap and you know it. Yeah, that's much more like Kenny. I love to know what his soundbite is. I love the fact that he's probably done like, I don't know, half hour or an hour interview, and yet they've used about 5 seconds of him talking. That's how loved Kenny is. Andrew Swift, can we get a shout out for Richard Felix? I loved him, and he's having more surgery. Oh, is he really having more surgery today, Andrea? Sorry, I did not realize that. Yeah, a big shout out to the lovely, lovely Richard Felix. I've spoken to him on this podcast. I've met him a couple of times. Lovely, lovely fella. He's going through it. I mean, age is creeping up on him now. But he's so enthusiastic and gives so much to the paranormal, and he presents himself as this being constantly enthusiastic about it, but it must be making a toll. It's taking its toll on him, because Christ, he's been doing ghost tours and ghost walks for, I'd hate to think, 30 years, 40 years. Crazy. But he's a lot fitter than I am. So yeah, good luck, Richard. I hope you're okay. Let's go down. I was just in West Virginia for the Grafton Monster Festival. Oh, that's cool. I think I heard you mention about that. Did they treat you nicely, Kenny? Or did they? Oh, that's the one with the thunderstorm, isn't it? Where God hated you, so just decided to destroy your skeptical help bar. That's the one. Let's go down. Hang on, I do. I'm because the chat's going around quite fast. I'm aware that sometimes I miss out people, so I do apologize if I miss out your comment. I can't go through every single one, unfortunately. What's Diane saying? I suppose at the end of the day, it's down to the individual as to what they like to watch, be you a believer or more scientific, but trying to find a program that brings balance is hard. Yeah, it is hard. And me personally, I can barely watch anything, because I get about less than 5 minutes into a TV show and I give up. I'm like, this is crap. So it's got to be seriously good. What's Sam saying? I think big. Corey Taylor from Slipknot. He's massively into the paranormal. Even wrote a book about it. I did not know that. That's cool. Right. Yeah. I'm just being aware that I look very yellow. Hang on. That's a bit better. It's a bit blue. That'd be better. Anyway, I don't know. I look some kind of jaundiced. Anyway, bit weird how my lights make me do that. Make me look like that. Okay. Have you given a date for Skirid? Yes, I have, Beardo. Yes, it's all sorted. It's all sorted as far as I know. Oh, there we go. Oh, Beardo's got an opinion on John Zaffis. I've got an opinion on Zaffis. He's the most prolific burglar ever. Ooh, that's haunted. What, that Ming vase? You don't say. Like, yeah, there does seem a bit of a yeah. It's a bit like the Warrens. I mean, it's the same kind of it. It's like, oh, I can take away the demon in your home. Oh, we'll look after it in our haunted museum with all the other prized possessions we've taken out of people's homes. It's very much like crafty kind of, we can do something with that and make it look good and charge people and make a film out of it. Have we forgotten Rent-A-Ghost? John Boypatton, Rent-A-Ghost, my word. Haunted stuff. What's he saying? Haunted stuff on Amazon, good. The most watched paranormal show on there, according to some. We faked our hotel. I'm not saying anything, but I could, but I'm not. Anyway, I've just had 2 production companies ask me to travel over 7 hours drive each way and stay for 2 or 3 days. When asked if they would cover travel expenses, they thought I was nuts. What? You're joking. And they would not pay anything towards your travel expenses, even though it's 7-hour drive each way. That's crazy. I mean, that's a thing. I mean, the fact that they're looking you gone out and you're just asking for them to cover travel expenses, that's nuts. Come on, these guys, to produce something is in the thousands of dollars, and they can't even cover your travel expenses. That's bad. But maybe it's just the way of the world right now. Justin, not ghost, a comedian. His very camp friend and a medium go around old forts and theatres. Sounds like one for Kenny to investigate. Or Beardo, for that matter. A comedian, his very camp friend, and a medium. I think we've got an idea for a new UK TV show. Who would we have in as the comedian, very camp friend, and a medium? Either way, I think we could do a UK version. That'd be awesome. You'll go back and read every comment you missed. I bloody won't. Even I debunked that haunted hotel, Beardo. Ball up at the window, but I got shit for it in the Facebook group. You don't say, John Boy. Really? You got shit for pointing stuff out? Well, that doesn't sound like certain people. Contact Corey Taylor's manager. Well, I might do, actually. The Grafton Monster Festival people were amazing, very friendly. Put me up in a cabin by a lake for the weekend. Nice. That's bloody good. That's really nice. You need a white studio light. Looks like you've got a yellow light. Yeah, I've got a yellow light. I mean, I could do it. Well, I just look a bit bleached out, so that's why I have it slightly warmer. But in the warm weather, I do look a little bit too warm. That's right. John Zaffis is the Warren's nephew. He's a white collar thief, allegedly. Don't want to get in trouble with lawyers and things. Let's have a go. Kenny, that's like my band. We're trying to think of the exposure. Yeah, that is bad. That is bad. Did Rosy Cheeks just call me camp? Because I'm far from a medium. Rosy Cheeks. I do look very red. I do look very red. And it is partly to do with me being out in the sun all afternoon, I've got to say. So I do actually look quite red. Steve, Griffin, Justin. I'm not saying which is which. Jan W. Billy Connolly, Alan Carr, and any medium. Can you imagine how nuts that would be? I went to the Weald and Downland Museum after Really Haunted, and I'd filmed there, as it's only 20 minutes from where I live. Must say it's an interesting place and worth a visit and a proper investigation. Oh, okay, I've not heard of that one. Not heard of that place. Whereabouts is that exactly? Because I don't. That sounds a long way down south from me. I don't think I've come across that one. There are a few Canadian ghost story reenactment shows that were good for listening to ghost stories, at least. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think some of the those early TV shows, particularly now. Then, what's the silly ones that? Oh God, there's names of again. I'm sorry, America, but they're your TV shows. There was one. Was it Ghost Witness or something like ridiculous like that? Anyway, certain American TV shows they just adore the reenactment dramatization thing with all make it really super scary and stuff. And so they're interviewing the witness, but then they always go into some real ridiculous over the top reconstruction. And I always find them slightly funny. I've got to say that the kind of they always go over the top. They always go over the top, but yeah. So I'm doing some camping stuff soon, but no tent, bivvy, haunted forest, cooking on a fire, probably no ghost, but fun. Beardo, that genuinely sounds really cool. That does sound, that's my idea of a weekend out away. You know, back to nature with a fire, camping out, proper. Haunted woods, why not? Do it. Because I think that sounds really good fun. West Sussex, thank you, Paul. Weald and Downland near Chichester. Okay, cool. Paranormal Nightmares, My Haunted Hospital. I don't think it was that one. It was something like, I don't know. It was something like Paranormal Witness, or it was I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Paranormal Witness. I'm sure it was. Susan, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know why there's that need to camp it up or to make things really dramatic with flashy cuts and flashy sound effects. I know they're trying to be entertaining, and I know they're trying to keep the audience, and they're trying to make it interesting, but it just comes across as a bit crap. Sorry, it just does to me. I'd much rather it take a more serious, avenue, go down a particular different way. Let's have a look. Americans appreciate history. We've got centuries of it, and so many don't seem to appreciate or learn from it, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. You do have centuries of it, just not as much as in the UK. Anyway, over the top American TV equals Zach Bagans. Now, yeah, I think he was. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Kenny, but I would say that a lot of the over the top stuff emanated or seemed to emanate. And I know you had your cheesy Paranormal TV in the early days, but I would say the over the top, over dramatic, the voice, the look, the everything seemed to stem from him. And yeah. And I think unfortunately his influence, either as a producer or as a presenter, or the fact that he's earned loads of money, has influenced a lot of other Paranormal TV shows. They've gone down exactly the same route because of him. Going to Iowa, got an abandoned farmhouse. Hope to get some activity on a school. Farrah Elementary, going to be my first paid place that's supposed to be haunted. Oh, cool. That's how it goes to Spookfest. Please do. That sounds really good. What's that James saying? Could have been Sid James. Camp could be John Inman, and medium could be Connie Booth. Oh God, that's really going back. You're really recalling some early childhood TV names in there. Bloody hell. Shirley Ghostman. Is that made up name? That's obviously Shirley Ghostman's got to be a made up name. It's a great medium. I've never heard of Shirley Ghostman. I'm put her in contact with Kenny Biddle, because I'm sure Kenny will have plenty to say to her and test her. So Spookfest. Let's have a look. What's he saying? I want to do Villisca Axe Murder House. I would love to go there. And I know people have got it, the detractors and things, but I would love to go to the Villisca Axe Murder House. I love a good story. And I would really enjoy that. Yes, now we're talking, Weird Fox. Marshmallows roast on sticks, roast in the fire, squash between two digestive biscuits, then dip into melted Nutella. Oh, yeah. I think we should do that whilst ghost hunting. Why not? Just stuffing our face with Nutella and marshmallows and s'mores, whatever they're called. What? Oh, Kaza, thank you so much for the gifted memberships again. Thank you so much, Kaza. I didn't even see you in the chat, so thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for gifting the 20 memberships. If you haven't done so, please have a massive thank you to Kaza, particularly if you got one of those memberships. Oh, Christ, Dawson got one. Bloody hell, Kaza. Don't give anything to Dawson. But if you got one of those memberships, including Dawson, make sure you say thank you to her. Even if Dawson did get one. Kenny got a membership. Oh, he's going to love that. Yes, I know Farrah's owned by Flam and Colby, but it's only $80. I've not watched anything on it yet and want to investigate myself. Well, why not? I think, Dawson went to that school as well, didn't he? And if it's cheap to get into and you can investigate it, why not? You got to, sometimes you just got to go into these places to see for yourself. And I didn't see that Kenny got a membership. That's so funny. What's that? God, I said, if Cromwell Street was still standing, would I investigate it? I said, absolutely not. Not the thought of makes me want to chuck. Yeah, I mean, I've been at places which were murder sites and where bodies had been dumped and things like that. Child murders, and I've been to Cromwell Street as well, and I took some photos there, but I would not dream of rocking up and trying to call out and do EVPs at somewhere where so many people died. I really no. There's so many problems and things wrong with the paranormal as it is, if you start becoming and losing your morals when it comes to investigating, and not thinking about the victims and not thinking about the victims' families who have to, who may see you hanging around the area where their loved ones were killed. That's this is a whole other podcast, but morality, the morals of investigators, it really, really annoys me. Annoys me so much. No, just no. If anybody's thinking about it, doing it, please don't. Let's go down. So now can he talk smack about members only videos? Do you know what? I haven't yet, Kenny. But now you've said that, just for you, I might do. I've been here since the start of live. Dead to me. Oh, what? Sorry, Kaz. I did not see. You must have been. I did not even see. I apologize prolifically. Cromwell Street is just a vacant lot now. Yeah, Cromwell Street is just a walk through. It's just a cut through. So where the house was is completely gone. It's just a cut through to the next street behind. But I will just say, Cromwell Street, if you ever go there, it's a bit of a dive. I think it's been a dive for a long time. So yeah, it was not a nice place. I've got to say, it's just kind of a bit like, ugh, don't like it. What's that? Oh, what's that? Hog roast. Oh, shift up and save me a seat. Yeah, hell yeah. Always happy to have a hog roast on investigation. So, thank you, TD boy. Thank you. Right, so let's go through the last couple of questions, and then I think we'll need to wrap it up because we've got nearly at the hour. It's got demolished, unpaved. Yeah, you can walk over the spot. Yeah, you can. You can walk where the garden was, and you can walk where the house was, where the cellar was, and things like that. But yeah, there's no sign of it. No, nothing at all. Apparently, let's have a look. Ghost Hunters investigators apparently investigated the lane where that house once stood. Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. There's a horrid rumor that Fred West's ashes were scattered near Barry Island Beach. Yeah, I heard that as well. I don't know where that rumor came from. Was that one of his last wishes that's where he wanted them to be scattered? But yeah, I'd heard that. Don't know how true it was though. There's a book called An Evil Love about the Wests. I've read a book about about Fred and Rose West, and it's all a bit grim, to be honest. Yeah, I know. I mean, I think if the channel grows and as the channel, as it gets bigger and bigger, I may extend certainly these kind of Chimps tea parties. So it may be an hour and a half, then maybe it gets 2 hours at some point. But right now, I'll keep it to an hour. That way, people don't get absolutely sick to death of me. People might leave with kind of people still kind of enjoying the content, not getting bored senseless. Or I need to make it more flashy and have stupid videos like Beardo does. Yeah, some people have no empathy or morals. Sadly, there's still way too much of it. Way too much of that. What's that? Knows me wants to know about the murders and horrible things, but I would never want to put families through having that out there. Yeah, in my opinion, there should be a couple of generations gone by before. Absolutely right, Pam. Absolutely right. I mean, I think one time I was at Cannock Chase doing, and we was going to be doing an investigation of these, the black-eyed children thing, and the black-eyed children myths are very much linked with a number of child murders from the 1960s, and and the historian showed us where the bodies were dumped, and people thought that would be a good place to do a video and try and get in contact with them. So, I know. I'm just seeing your comment, Beardo. Yeah, the very funny videos, Beardo. Very, very good. But yeah, I wouldn't dream of doing it. Even from murders from the 1960s, it'd have to be something I would say at least from the 1800s before I'd even think about covering something like that. I mean, I'd probably do the whole Jack the Ripper thing, but anything within living memory, I would just stay well away. Stay well away. Ruby Moon, thank you so much for the $5. Bless your heart. Thank you very much. And bless your heart isn't seen as a good thing, not a bad thing. Thank you very much. Paranormal Witness, the reenactments are absolutely comedy gold. I watch them to see how off they are with the choice of actor to represent witnesses. Yeah. Yeah. They are really good and they are genuinely really funny. What's that? Roger Bone, can I get a spank? Dirty bugger. Hang on. Let me get him. There he is. There he is. How annoying is he? Very quickly. Just for you, Roger. There we go. It's enough spanking. Spank the monkey. Oh God. Anyway, yeah, Grim Life Collective. I do like their stuff actually. But yeah, some they can sometimes overstep the mark, I've got to say. I think the West things makes me feel so sick because I remember it in the news. Yeah, absolutely right, Beardo. Yeah, just some things I would just stay away from. Is the monkey switched off? The monkey's always switched off. Always. Let's have a look. I did not see this from John Boy, actually. What's that? Grim Life new video is on a horrible murder case, but done respectfully. I mean, you can be as respectful as you like. But I just wouldn't go there. And that monkey is not. It is annoying. It is annoying. And I agree with Kenny. It shows that UFOs are on the way. They are. See, they're coming. See, this is what I want to do, a creepy video with him. Or if I ever do an investigation, I might just put him in the background somewhere. You know, I'll just have him just lurking in the background in the dark, or I'll just walk past him and not make reference to him. I need to do some creepy videos with this guy. Anyway, doesn't beat Possum Pete though. Hey, this shit's all over Possum Pete. What's Right, I might have to start doing that like a video with Spank the Monkey t-shirt. Can you imagine, Simon, if I literally just put his image, or I'll do a different graphic design of his face, and I'll just do a Spank the Monkey logo. How many of you would buy that? Not many. Or if you did buy it, I mean, what's Seg got? He's got dick fingers, hasn't he, on his t-shirt? So maybe some people Spank the Monkey in the dark. There you go. We have a t-shirt design. Thanks, Simon. Spank the Monkey in the dark. Oh, lordy. You can see it happening in the future. So that Paranormal Monkey should change to Spank the Monkey. Confuse everyone on what kind of chat this is. Wouldn't it just? Some of you would buy a Spank the Monkey t-shirt. You're absolutely filth. Look, I was actually thinking earlier today that I need to do some redesigns or a different design for the t-shirt to make it, to get updated and things. So yeah, maybe I might do a Spank the Monkey t-shirt. You never know. What is this? What are you saying, Beardo? Or he possibly came here all the way from Australia and dances. What does your monkey do? Get spanked and clap? Yeah, but he does this as well. Hey, bet Possum Pete doesn't do that, does he? And anyway, this came from Mythos. Look. This is not in English. This look. That's not English. That's come from probably somewhere in China or somewhere. Anyway, so it's come from a distance. It's come a distance. It may not have come from Australia, but it's come from away. Well, from Mythos anyway. Oh, hang on. What's Weird Fox saying? Yes, Bruno will be watching videos and be, oh, look, it's Justin Spanking Monkey. People are going to get such the wrong idea if I start doing that. So look, I don't agree with Ghost Hunters investigating alleged ghosts of people, especially children who died recently and have living relatives. Absolutely. Yeah. I think morally, you just got to distance yourself from anything recent. I tended to have I've we had some great information from the historians and things that I just would not want to go there. Really wouldn't want to go there. Um, what's that? Before my merch store realized I'd sold 23 t-shirts saying suck my ass. 23 23 people have a t-shirt that's saying suck my ass. My God. Or maybe Spank the Monkey's not so bad after all then. Blimey. Wow. Right, Kenny, listen. If you, just to see you wearing a t-shirt that says Spank the Monkey, I'll get some designed and I want to see you wearing one. There you go. It's coming soon to the merch store. Kenny Spanks the Monkey. Let's have a look. I heard people requesting you, Curb, saying, let's have a look here. And I have to say, it brings me so much joy to hear it. It's classic, Justin. I might cry if you stop. I don't know about that because it's just, I can't help it. It's because the chat takes a while before it comes on screen and it's like dead air and I feel as I've got to say something. So that kind of, let's just see what such is saying is, yeah, it's a habit. I apologize. As a paranormal investigator, I stay away from anything recent. Quite right, too. Paranormal Nut. Good name. Oh, lordy lord. Can I get a one-off t-shirt? Justin spanked my monkey at 30 East Drive. God almighty. I don't know quite what to say to that, but yeah, bollocks, why not? I'll get one specially made just for you that just says, Justin spanked my monkey at 30 East Drive. Oh, lordy lord. Right, anyway, enough of this nonsense. Paranormal investigators spank the monkey. Yeah, I think we have a new idea for a t-shirt. It's all good. Anyway, right, we're going to finish there before we go down a very, very dirty avenue. And I'll probably never be allowed a YouTube channel ever again. Anyway, this Monday, I've got the lovely Barry Frankish coming in. So Barry, for those that don't realize, is one of those people who's a paranormal investigator in the UK, but actually he does a lot to try and bring the paranormal community together and to be proud of the paranormal. So that's what he's trying to present. Is he's done, t-shirts and badges and things like that, and he's just trying to bring people together. You could say para unity. I am very, very, very dubious about para unity because it's a term that's been used a lot. But we will speak to Barry and see whether para unity, he believes para unity can be a thing. But certainly he believes that we should be very proud of as a paranormal community and working together and things like that. Because I'm going to make a ton of money with custom Spank the Monkey t-shirts. Just sounds wrong, doesn't it? Just sounds a bit wrong. I don't know. So no, it's not Barry Guy. It's Barry Frankish. Barry Frankish. So yeah, not. I can't imagine Barry Guy would want to come on my show. Oh, maybe he does. Yeah, I know. I know, Kenny. I mean, the whole para unity thing has been bandied around for so long, and it doesn't exist. It just doesn't. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I know what you mean because actually the Parameet convention is a lovely, lovely community event, and you can see people with like-minded and things like that. I just think on a broader level, I just think you're very hard pressed to have para unity. But we'll go down this avenue on Monday. Right, we're all done. That'll do now for the night. To every single one of you, thank you so much as ever for all your chat, for all the comments, for Kaza, for your donations, and for all your thoughts around Paranormal TV. Maybe one day I will get on the likes of Barry Guy and Ian Lawman and Danny Robbins to tell us more about Paranormal TV. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait for that. Yet, anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you for joining me. As ever, it's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your night, won't you, guys? And I shall speak to you soon. All right. Good night.